Good morning. This is CBC Manitoba. In Winnipeg, we are Channel 6, Cable 2, with a video power of 100,000 watts and audio power of 20,000 watts. We hope you will enjoy today's programming.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back around the world to Ham Radio Live. Please hit that subscribe button. Notice you didn't see any ads you don't care about, from companies that are going to do everything from remove your acne to make your TV hear better. We don't monetize, so we just ask that you subscribe because it helps us be found on YouTube for folks that have an interest in radio, whether it be ham radio or whether it be shortwave. Could be, just DX listening. We cater mostly to hams, but, there you go. Hey, it's Wednesday. Wednesday is finally here. Welcome to January 27th. Hello, everybody. My goodness. This is going to be called The Little Show That Could. No joke. I'm telling you, I had everything that could go wrong getting this show together. And I've been working on it 2 hours prior, right? And no matter what I did, it just didn't work. So, oh, man. Let's just say the SDR Play people, write better instructions. Would you make it more simple to get going with that darn thing? Because I sure would appreciate it. I would have liked to have shown your product today. But we're having a little hard time with the SDR Play DX. And we can't show the MFJ 1708 yet because of that. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for coming. We are the only daily radio channel on YouTube, really, the only ham radio and DX radio enthusiast show that's live every day on YouTube. So we ask that you please hit the subscribe button because it'll help other people who might have an interest in ham radio or DX to find the show. Thank you so much for coming. And my goodness, thank you for all the thumbs up already. Holy moly. Yours truly has been just frantic. Like, why won't it work? Toby, yes, I'm so sorry it's so late, man. I work so hard. Welcome to the show, man. It's good to see you. I'm serious. If you only knew what was going on in this studio right now. Let me see, do I have any video? I can show you. No video. No, I can show you a laptop that's like showing SDR Play Uno that's not working, but hey, why should I do that? Anyway, Toby, welcome. Adam, good to see you. Thank you very much. November 4. Alpha Lima Victor is in the house. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you, Adam. Thanks for coming. Yeah, the show opens are now going to have something special, and so will the show closings, okay? Little Easter eggs that we want to put in as homage to broadcasting. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, now I was so geeked out into broadcast. I literally was. I would get up early as a child and I would watch the TV channels come on the air. I knew literally almost every minute when each channel would come on the air and sign on. It was back in the day before television was 24/7. So it was fun for me to watch them come on the air. I was just weird that way. And then if I was, able to, I would watch them go off the air, usually with my brother like this, sleeping, and I would go turn the TV off after I watched him go off. But anyway, that's the thing. So you'll always try and see a sign on from somewhere around the world, as well as a sign off from somewhere in the same place, if I can make it work. So the sign off at the end of the show will also come from Canada. Welcome to the show. Hey, my friend Bergs all the way from Sweden is in the house. Welcome, Bergs. Greetings to you too. Good evening. Good evening, my friend. Nikolai, welcome all the way from Romania. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for coming, my friend. Now we're in Eastern Europe, so that's pretty cool. All over the world, and Scott is here from the state of Colorado. Scott, welcome to the show. All right, today we're really coming back with a fumbling show because I was like, okay, now what do I talk about? I had this show planned, and I've worked for hours to make it work. I'll work on it after the show's over. So we're going to do some test questions, and we're going to see about going live on the rig. We'll see what happens. By the way, if anyone's interested, I am going to be selling, I've decided I'm going to sell one rig. It's going to be the K3. And it's kind of hard for me because, I like the radio very, very much. I truly do. And that's not it. But, that was supposed to be it right there. Anyway, I really love the rig. The problem is that quite honestly, it's just too many. It really is for me. I just love this thing, but I just have one too many radios. And to be quite honest, it's just, one too many. So, it's kind of what, do you remember the part? Do you remember in the movie? I'm trying to remember the name of the movie now. Hang on a second. I think it was, it was on Christmas Story. Just a second. You're revolving. I know. Sorry. All right. Now you get a picture of it. It wouldn't work if I did it the other way. Sorry. Yeah, there's the K3. So I'm going to be selling the K3. And, it's more because I just feel weird owning all these radios, truly. And I love it. It's a great radio. It has all of the SSB filters that I would want in a radio because I love SSB. My love for ham is using the microphone. I like it because it's the toughest QSO to make. It is. Voice is the toughest. It requires the most bandwidth. Also, you've got to be able to hear it. Now, digital is easier. Now, you might say for people who understand it, yeah, it is. But for people who don't, it isn't. And you'd be right. But actually to make a call by phone is the most difficult in ham radio. And I love that challenge, especially when it's QRP. Anyway, welcome to the show. Glad to see you. We're going to do some test questions, have some fun with that. By the way, want to welcome the UK. Stu is here. Welcome. Golf 7, Whiskey Alpha Yankee. Welcome, Stu. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming. Going to do a few questions. It's going to be a tech gen. So for people who are coming into the hobby, as well as people who'd like to license up, a few questions to help them out. Then we'll go to the rig. Okay, here we go. First question. This is technician in the U.S. Okay, so for people who'd like to get on the air, get that opening license, here is the first question. What kind of communication is taking place when an amateur station is transmitting and receiving on the same frequency? So you're not working split. You're simply talking on the same frequency. Typically, this is, talked about on 2 meters and 440, right? FM. So simplex. Yeah. When you're working on the same frequency together, you're not changing, you're not working on one and then transmitting, through a repeater, which is, changing the frequency to another frequency that you're hearing it on, right? That's duplex. Okay. When you're using it that way. So if you're on a repeater, you tune into your local repeater on 2 meters and you call in, right? And you see if anybody's there. Well, that repeater is going to repeat the signal. That's why it's called a repeater on another frequency, very close to where you're at. It's not far away, but it's another frequency. So someone picks it up there, then they call into the repeater on that frequency and they talk to you. That would be duplex. If you're not using a repeater, then it's simplex. It's simply your antenna to theirs. That's how it works. Okay. Bergs, he says, I'm desperately looking for a TS2000. If you know anyone that has one for sale, let me know. Man, buddy, I actually, this is weird because I have one here. I really do. And it's like brand new. Literally, it's barely been used. I'm the only person who's used it. I'll talk to my interested in selling it. This is literally a Kenwood TS2000 that I'm the first user on, and it's perfect. It really has just never been used since new. One of the hardest radios to find, literally. So yeah, I promise I'll let you know. Okay. All right. Next question. We're still on the technician. Okay. When is an amateur station required to transmit its assigned call sign? Okay. So you're on a rank chew. You're talking to people for a while. For people who aren't in a ham radio, rank chew is simply a conversation that goes on for a bit. Okay. All right. So when you're on a long contact with someone, A would be the answer a lot of people would pick, right? At the beginning of each contact and every 10 minutes thereafter. Okay, that sounds very plausible, right? Because you do start with your call sign when you make contact. Okay, but keep in mind the question. When is an amateur station required to transmit its assigned call sign? Okay. It's not B at least once during each transmission. The reason why, you could have a 20 or 30-minute conversation, and if you never identify yourself, it's just not it's against the rules for the FCC. C is every 15 minutes during and at the end of a communication. That's close. It's D. At every 10 minutes during and at the end of a communication. So you're in the middle of a contact, you're talking with somebody and you're having a nice conversation. And then at the, while you're talking, you give your call sign, you keep going. And usually you give your call sign, the other person will respond back with theirs. That's usually how it works. And at the very end, 73s, thanks a lot. You say their call sign, then your call sign, and that's it. That's typically how it works, okay? All right. You're very welcome, Bergs. Glad to have you here today. Thanks for coming all the way from Sweden. It's a pleasure to have you here. Next question on the technician. Under what conditions is an amateur radio station authorized to transmit music during a phone emission? This one's weird, right? It's only when incidental to an authorized retransmission. Notice what it says. When incidental to an authorized retransmission of manned spacecraft communications. All right, this is a weird one, very weird one. It's one of those oddball questions. All right, so let's say you have recorded a QSO with the International Space Station. All right, in the background, one of the astronauts has music playing. Okay, you'd like to share the QSO with other people. Hey, this is my QSO with the ISS with astronaut Smith. And then you play it. It's a recording, right? Because it's a retransmission. Okay, that's legal. You can do it then, but you can't have music playing when you're on the air. That's illegal. You can't do that. But if you're retransmitting something that's incidental to the manned spacecraft operation of the ISS, then it's legal. It's weird. I know it's weird, but it's good to know because there's lots of questions on the FCC test that are just like that. So please pay attention. I know I have the mic up hotter today. And the reason, going through the last show, it was clear to me that the mic is still not quite hot enough. I'd rather have people turn it down than have to try and turn it up and it won't go up any higher, because we have a ton of people who watch this show who do have hearing deficiencies. I want to be able to help them hear the show better. Okay? All right. Next question on the technician. This should be the very last one. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a beacon, right? Beacon stations. All right. Is C, an amateur station transmitting communications for the purposes of observing propagation or related experimental activities? All right. Hang on, Nikolai. Hang on. All right. So beacons. Beacons are there to help you know the window to another continent, right? They transmit at 100 watts. And what they do is they give their call sign and then they give a tone, a 1-second tone. They'll give it at 100 watts, at 10 watts, at 1 watt, and then at 1/10 of a watt. So it gives you an idea of just how well you can hear from that continent. So say you're trying to work Europe and you hear it first at 100. You might hear it a little bit at 10, right? You know you can work Europe because you can hear the beacon. That's important. That's the FCC definition. Nikolai, see you soon. 73 to you, and thank you for coming to the show today. Good to see you, Nikolai. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, buddy. Good luck on that exam. Do good, okay? Let us know how it goes, would you? Scott, wishing good luck from Colorado all the way to Romania. Pretty cool stuff. All right, next question on the FCC license is technician. What factors affect the RF exposure of people near an amateur station antenna? It is all of these, okay? Frequency and power level of the radio frequency field. So for new people who'd like to be hands, when you see the word RF, it means radio frequency, okay? So that's one of them. Frequency and power level of the radio frequency field. It's also distance from the antenna to where they are. It's also C, the radiation pattern of the antenna. Is it horizontal? Is it vertical? Okay, that makes a difference. And then D, of course, gives you all three. So the answer is going to be D. All of these choices are correct, okay? All of these factors affect the amount of RF exposure your body feels when you're near an amateur station antenna. Thanks again for the thumbs up. It's very kind. I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it. It's very kind. It's something nice. It's something that people are kind enough to say. So thank you for the kindness of saying you appreciate it. Okay. This show is really the only show on YouTube that is live that talks about radio every single day. Try do it at 1900 UTC, unless I'm in a mess like this where I'm like, why the heck won't this show me a planet after a screen? Other than that, it was fine. Okay, next question. This is on the general. Which of the following is a requirement for administering a technician class license examination? All right, so you're a technician, right? And you want to take the general exam. So you're studying for the general. This is a question that basically says, okay, if you want to give a technician license and be a volunteer examiner for it, okay, what's the requirement for doing it? Because remember, you need 3, okay? That's a clue. There's always 3 volunteer examiners needed, no matter the license class. So if you're studying for the extra or the general or the technician, there will be 3 volunteer examiners there to monitor you taking the test. Those 3 will then sign off if you have a certificate for completion of the course to get your license, okay? Those 3 will sign off as well as with their call signs saying, yeah, this person did it. I was here. I acknowledge it. So remember, 3 are needed. That'll help you, okay? Notice only 2 of these answers say 3. All right. The next part's very important. You have to be at least a class above the class that you're trying to take the test for. All right. So the answer is A. At least 3 general class or higher volunteer examiners must observe the examination. See, you can't be 3 technician classes trying to give a technician class examination. And the reason why is because they want you to know more than just the technician level license. That's the reason why. Again, sorry for the late show today. Wow, it was crazy in here. So thanks for your patience. All right. These are the last, actually I got one more after this. So 2 more. And then 1 more to show you, okay? When general class licensees are not permitted to use the entire voice portion of a particular band, which portion of the voice segment is generally available to them? All right, you'll see this especially on frequencies like 40, okay, 20. 20 has the same limitations. You'll see the same limitations on 15 meters, believe it or not. Yeah, 15 the same way. Other than that, generals and extras have pretty much the same benefits. So, 80 as well. So 80, okay, 40, 20, 15 meters. All right. When this occurs, general classes are typically permitted to use the upper end, the upper frequency end. For example, okay, on 80 meters, generals can start using the band at 3.8 megahertz. It means they can't use 80 meters from 3.5 to 3.799, okay? They start at 3.8. If you're on 40, generals can start at 7.175. They're excluded from 7 to 7.174, okay? On 20, generals can work from 14.225 to 14.350. They're excluded from 14.0 to 14.224. And on 15, generals can begin at 21.225, okay? 21.275. So 21.275 all the way to 21.450. So general folks are excluded from 21 megahertz to 21.274. That's how it works, okay? So keep that in mind. You're always given the upper frequency end. All right, last 2 questions. What's the power limit for beacon stations? We just talked about beacons. They're 100 watts. That's it. But that's misleading. It's really misleading. the power limit, correct, the power limit is 100 watts. However, beacons will start at 100, then they'll go to 10, then they'll go to 1, then they'll go to a tenth of a watt, but they are limited to 100 watts. There's other questions in the FCC test that talks about beacons, right? Okay, when they talk about beacons, remember, only one beacon can be in any location at the same time. So for example, you can't have a beacon in Great Britain, all right, and then have another beacon in Great Britain near it at the same power. Just like you can't have one, say, in Florida of the United States, and then one close to it in Florida in the United States. The whole purpose of beacons is to be able to provide propagation indications to people around the world, to know when the window's open to work to that continent. That's where it is. So when you know you can hear a beacon from another continent, you know you can work it. All right. Beacons are good helpers for ham radio operators. All right. And thanks for another thumbs up. You guys are honoring me tremendously. Thank you for that. All right. These are the last two. These are both in the general to help our friends that are trying to study up so they can get that 97% of all frequencies out there. All right. What precautions should you take whenever you make adjustments or repairs to an antenna? Okay. So we've just had something here that is very, very rare. We had snow. We did. We had snow yesterday. In fact, after the show, I was blown away. I really was, because all of a sudden, it was funny. I called my wife and I said, "You won't believe this." And she said, "What?" You know, because she's in the front room and the front room window was closed, right? And I said, "It's snowing out." "No, it's not. Stop messing with me." I said, "No, I'm serious. It's snowing." Anyway, it was. So this can cause damage to a tower. It really can. The weight of the snow can cause trouble to your tower where you'll have to make a repair to it. Okay? This is why I'm telling you that story. All right. So what happens when this happens? Okay, you got to make repairs to your tower. You do B, turn off the transmitter and disconnect the feed line. That's it. Okay. You don't need to wear a radiation badge. Could you imagine? Here's my radiation badge. I'm good to go. No, you don't ensure that you and the antenna structure are grounded. You don't need to worry about that. That's not important. It's B, turn off the transmitter, just disconnect the coax. You're good. All right, last question for the general. Why should soldered joints not be used with the wires that connect the base of a tower to a system of ground rods? Okay, so you got some ground rods. You want to ground your tower, okay? Why should you not solder things? Is it A, the resistance of solder is too high? B, solder flux will prevent a low conductivity connection? C, solder has too high a dielectric constant to provide adequate lightning protection? Or D, which is the correct answer, a solder joint will likely be destroyed by the heat of a lightning strike. And that's it. It's D. Okay. Solder just can't hold up to the voltage that's provided by a bolt of lightning. It just won't hold up. All of a sudden, it'll be this exploded goo, and whatever it was trying to hold will be just blown apart. So it's not good. Don't do it. Speaking of yesterday, this is what it looked like when I got out. Really, I came out and I walked immediately after show, and this is what I was shown right away. Look at that. And this is rare for us. This is very rare. Snow in our area is very, very rare. So, and no one saw it. The forecasters didn't see it, anything. In fact, I had to take my wife to work because she's a Northern California girl, and snow to her is like the evil enemy. She's terrified to drive in it. So this is this morning. Take a look. Except for the garbage cans. I love the picture. That was this morning. Just a beautiful morning, you know. A silver thaw. So it had thawed a little bit and then froze back over again. But that was this morning here, about 30 degrees. Beautiful morning in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome. All right. Nikolai, thanks again for being here. Good luck on your test. All right, let's take a look we're going to pop onto the K3. We'll see if we can make a couple of calls here today, and we'll wrap it up. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure how the antenna is going to do today because there's still a lot of snow on it, but we'll see. I'm going to miss this little radio. I like it. It's a great rig. It really is. It is so sensitive. Sensitive as heck. But it came between this and the 5000, and I can't sell the 5000. That's too hard. 20 is a bit dead. Let me see if this is a net. Hopefully it's not. Bergs that usually squeeze and solder everything. Okay. Be careful with lightning though. Be careful. Okay, let me check that I got power here. Yeah, I'm only at 10 watts. Let me get it up here a little bit. Get it to 100.
Okay, well, no snow and a little rain, so
Quick tune. And this only tunes at like 5 watts, so they're not going to hear it.
So, you have a good day, and we'll catch you up here today and start tonight. Don, K, no, not K. W7, W7B. Tom, go ahead and pick it up, K6MJ.
K7HN. Notice I quickly said my call sign. Quickly because I didn't want to cut the other guy off on the 73. Just a quick call in. That's it. That's a break. And we're having a hard time hearing the other side of the conversation. So there you go. There we go. A little better.
I like you. I think probably just a couple of more watts there might help, but we keep trying there, Tom. I heard him turn it over to Jesse, and know that his Jesse is on the SDR, but that's not really working very well for me. Anyway, WN70,
Kilo 7 Hotel November. At this point, just waiting for him to come back. If he doesn't hear this one, we'll just tune around the dial a little more. And for those who would like to hang around, later on today, there will be another show. It's going to be a short one on the MFJ 1708 SDR. Just need to get this SDR Play DX to connect correctly. Got everything hooked up, just can't get the pen adapter on. Boy, pretty dead. Listen to the noise reduction on this. It's not that bad. It really isn't.
Roger, Roger. Got a good copy on the KRT. Good evening to you. You got a copy on him there, Jerry?
Okay, so we're in the middle of the group. Here we go. Let's just move.
You monitor the frequency, but that's okay. It changes every week, so you'll hold up. I'm glad to.
He sounds off, doesn't he? K7HN. Trying to get in on the break. Someone from Colorado calling in. Don't want to step on him. Okay.
And this is Warren, K6WKW. Back to you, Bob, KB0DC, K6WKW.
K7HN. Yeah, I think we're in there. And
I copy you. Definitely.
All right. And it could be, honestly, I'm using a vertical that has a ton of ground radials. And they're buried under the snow, literally. And water has a way of really messing around with your ground radials, especially if it's all connected to the same water. You know what I'm saying? Definitely can happen. Okay, let's try 17 real quick. All right. So let's just try 17 on 140, and we'll see if we can make a quick call. See if maybe someone can hear us. That'd be nice. Tune real quick. Again, we're going to run at 100 watts, so we'll be barefoot. Is this frequency available, please? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Checking frequency availability. This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, K7HN, Oregon. Checking my output meter. We're good. It's good. All right. Okay, so on the K3, one other thing. Same with the K2, same with the K4. When you hit the tune, you hit it first, it's going to tune, right? It shows you your tune. If you hit it a second time, it will fine-tune that tune as well. The ATUs are always optional on these rigs because they're quite sensitive. They'll tune up to 10 to 1, usually, unless you're on 160 or 6, and at that point, right about 5 to 1. Very good tuning range. So they're very famous for their auto tuners, and they're always optional. So, like I say, this one's for sale. I hate to sell it. I'm going to miss this rig a lot. And especially because it's filled up with all the filters. So that'll be a tough one to let go. We'll be putting it on QRZ today. All right. CQ on 17. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ 17 meters. Kilowatt 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ. We're live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube. Calling CQ to the world and listening. 18140. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ on 17 meters from the state of Oregon and broadcasting live on YouTube, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ on 17 and listening. I don't like that SWR meter at all. Yeah, we're going to cut that. That's the ground radios. The ground radios are messing with the snow. All right. Kilo 7 Hotel November with QRT. Yeah. Good time to say goodnight. See, you can watch this on the meter right here, okay? Your transmit power, similar to an ICOM 7300, very similar. You watch your RF here, okay? And then your SWR is over here. So with your RF, you typically should be peaking right about here when you're talking. Okay, again, peak envelope power. You're not always going to be over here, but you're going to be over here. You might touch over here, but you're going to typically be over 50 watts. I was here. I was right there. Good sign that something's wrong. And it's the ground radials. They're literally covered under snow. So there you go. On the SWR, it stayed pretty well. It was here. Couple of bars kind of came up to about 1.5 to 1, but never bad. So it was never in that 2 or 3 to 1 range. It was good. It's a great radio. One of the best I've ever had. And it's why it's hard for me to sell it, because quite honestly, I think they're going to be very collectible radio. I think the K3 is going to be hugely collectible because they're really literally, the K3Ss are the best super heterodyne radio you can buy, according to both Sherwood and ARRL, that is not an SDR. It's pretty cool. So, and I can see why after using it for a while, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful radio, and it makes me really excited for the K4 to get here in February. Can't wait for it to arrive. The K4D, once it arrives, will be fun. And I have thought really hard on maybe getting the FTDX10 because I did love the 101. I did. Okay. So having a quality receiver like that, but a single receiver, not a dual, is fine for me. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But the FTDX10 with its sensitivity and selectivity being so well, hey, that's a great radio. Okay. Now I think it's going to come down in value. I will not buy it new. I refuse to, but I will buy a used one. So on the FTDX10, that's something I will buy. I do think prices on those, by the way, are going to come down. They always do. They always do. So that $16.99 price is going to drop. Okay. So just keep that in mind. For folks that are watching that FTDX10, in fact, let me look right now at this real quick because I look at it from time to time just to let you know current prices because so many people ask me about it. Okay, still $16.99. Hang in there because it will come down. I know Gigaparts the day after Christmas had the FTDX10 at $15.25. There's a great indicator for you. Glenn is here. Welcome. We have, check it out. We got some people that signed in. I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner. My apologies. Focused on the K3. RV Dad. Hi there. That's Kilo India 5. Mike Oscar. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. It's a joy to see you. Thank you for coming to today's show. We're live every day. We're at about 1900 UTC, the only live ham radio program that is truly live every day. And we try and make sure to meet everybody here. So thank you for coming. That's good. Glenn from Australia is in the house. Welcome back, Glenn. Woohoo! Give me a woo. All right. Glenn. Hi, Larry. I watched your show on the Heil Sound PRAS, which stands for the Parametric Receive Audio System Equalizer, okay? And what Glenn's saying is, I'm thinking about buying it and the matching speaker. Do you still use it? Now, I don't have the FTDX10 any longer. I sold it to buy the Elecraft K4D. So That radio now is in Alabama with a great guy. He's a former broadcast engineer and he loves it. It's a great radio. It is. I think the 101 MP is phenomenal. Now, as for the Heil, I cannot more highly recommend anything for your ham shack than that. And I get nothing for it. No kickback, nothing from Heil. I'm just telling you from my experience using this, okay? Listen to the difference, Glenn. I'll give you a good example of how good this system is to help you understand the value of it. I'm not going to mess with anything. I've done this on many shows, but I'm not going to mess with anything. Let's move back to the K3 real quick, all right? Let's see if we can listen to QSO. All right. Let's move back down to 20. Okay, hold on. Okay, Glenn. So this is coming through the Heil parametric receive audio system. Now, I'm going to keep everything flat, everything straight up at 12 noon. Notice the sound came out. Okay, because I run it hot here so you can hear the sound better from the radio. Now I'll turn the radio back up. And we're just going to tune in to this guy's voice, okay? I highly recommend this. Now, another question he has here is, does it have any effect on Morse code? Yes, absolutely it would. Yes, because it works well as a noise reduction tool as well. That's why. Hopefully this guy's going to talk again. I'm going to find another one. Let's move.
Los Angeles megalopolis.
Okay, now listen.
And
We're straight up. Now I'm going to take out the mid-range.
whatever they want. They don't want to supersede the governor, but they don't necessarily quite.
That's all I
follow.
did. I just
When the
messed with the
governor
mid.
said 65 is okay.
Now let me add mid.
The counties
Not
are
volume,
saying, nah,
mid.
We're still going to do the same thing. Then you hear, well, we're going to put in super vaccinate all these people. And then we hear
All I'm doing is
that there's
adjusting
enough
one
vaccine.
knob. I'm just adjusting one knob on the Heil parametric. I'm just adjusting the mid-range knob, no volume.
I can claim an underlying condition. Probably won't. I'll probably just wait till the over 65 to actually go. But I did.
Moving it down to 800 hertz. Now move up the output.
Pull that card out. Anyway, it's going to be
Now
what
it's
it's
down
gonna
below
be.
800.
And I'm not too worried about everything, except when the ICUs
Okay.
are completely full. Then you don't have as much chance of getting the good support in case you have a problem.
That's the difference
But
right
it's
there.
possible my wife and I had to.
That's the difference, Glenn. Yeah, I can't highly recommend this enough. And I don't get anything from Heil for saying that. It just works. I like it better than DNR. I do, because it moves the mid-range in a way that it works like DNR. It can cut back on QRM or QRN, and it also helps to make the intelligibility of the voice much better. Now for CW, where it will be helpful for you for is it will knock out a lot of the hash, okay? You're working a really narrow frequency there. It's going to help to knock that down. However, I must say, this system was developed for voice, okay? Really, it's more for sideband. You will love it. Love it. Now, as for the speaker, I honestly use headphones a lot. I really do when I'm on the radio. However, when I am using it off the radio, you can be sure this guy right here is always on. It is a fantastic speaker. It's a two-way speaker that is custom designed inside so that it's in a tuned enclosure, Glenn. So what it does is it permits you to hear sideband in a way you've never heard it before. Literally, it sounds much, much better. In fact, it sounds like your radio should have sounded to begin with. Think about it. If you spend $3,000, let's say you go down to your local home entertainment store, right? You're going to buy a sound system, right? You're going to buy it, or a television, let's say TV, right? And you listen to it. And I understand most flat screens don't have super sound. I get it, but at least they have decent sound, right? Our ham radios sound hashy as heck. And the reason why is because nobody has put money into the speaker of a radio for years and years and years. And I'm talking decades. They haven't. They'll mess with filters. They'll mess with DSPs. They'll mess with IFs, and they'll do all that. But the outgoing speaker is the same doggone speaker that's been there for years. Truly. It wouldn't cost much to put something nice into one of these and make it sound better. It wouldn't. But using this is like night and day. I don't care what radio it is. And the FTX 101 doesn't sound bad at all. It sounds great. It really does. But this makes it sound like $1 million. It really does. I cannot more highly recommend it. By the way, thank you so much for coming, Glenn. Again, now 3 continents back. It's amazing to me. We've got Australia, North America, and Europe here. That's fantastic. Traveler, welcome to the show. PA/KX4UI. Nope, no copying you here in the Netherlands. Okay, there you go. Welcome from Holland. Thank you for being here, my friend. Gosh, what a treat. Thank you. I mean that sincerely. Thanks for coming. Andy Bronson's here from Great Britain. Mike 7, X-Ray, Tango Tango. Oh, man, look what he did. He sold his FTDX 5000. That's one of these. And he bought the 101. It is a great radio, Andy. I liked my 101. I loved it. It was a great radio. I loved the VC tune. But you know what I really loved about it, Andy? And I'll say this for the 101. It looks like somebody spent a ton of money building that radio. It is so nice on the front. Just the look on that front face is beautiful. Yaesu did a wonderful job on ergonomics on that radio. Now, some will say, well, yeah, but the volume knob's right below the big VFO. Doesn't matter. I've used that radio for a long time. And it never bothered me. Never once did it bother me that the AF knob was right by the VFO. You know, on the 7610s, it's opposite. You can work the volume knob on the left and then the VFO's on the right. I get that. But I never had a problem with the 101. It sounds brilliant, and the DNR is so good. Oh, man. Andy, congratulations, man, on buying that. That's a great radio. A great radio, man. Yeah, you did good. And I love the 5000. In fact, the reason why I'm selling the K3 is truly because I want to have some extra money to buy the K4 Mini when it comes out. They've now announced, instead of it being in October when that's going to be released, they now said it's going to be in June. Well, you know, it's almost February. I'd like to make sure I have the money available. So if they want a deposit, I can throw the money down for a deposit on the K4 Mini. So I can have the small version of the K4 to use it anywhere in my house on Wi-Fi, or when I go on vacation, I can take it with me. It's cool. So that's why I'm doing the K3 sale. That's the only reason why. Otherwise, I'd hold on to it. It's a fantastic, fantastic radio. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got here. What else we got? Let's see. Cause. Hi, Cause. Welcome to the channel. What a joy to see you, brother. I'm new. Can techs talk around the world on the channels they get? And if so, what equipment to get? Good question. Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, technicians, if you want to talk, okay, a couple of solutions. Okay, you get to use 10 meters and 6. The problem is 10 meters is not usable right now very much. It's very short openings. And most hams aren't on 10. And most hams aren't on 6. Now in the summertime, that changes. On 6 meters, there'll be people monitoring for transmissions on 6, which technicians are allowed to do. Now, a solution would be if you were to buy, say, for example, a Yaesu 991A or a Yaesu FTDX 400, FTM 400, okay? Those have wires X on them. Or you could buy the ICOM, which has D-Star, okay? they work the same. In essence, what they do is they connect to an internet. Okay, you get an internet connection to it, and it goes into like a bunch of rooms. Really, that's the way it is. It's literally a set of rooms through the internet, and you connect to various countries there. It'll say like America room, or, you know, London or Australia, whatever. You just turn the little adjustment knob that's on the radio into that, you know, that's that room, and essentially you're using your microphone, right? And you're keying the mic, and you're talking over the radio that's going through the internet to another radio that somebody hears. Now, the cool part about that, okay, is that it sounds like FM. There's zero static. It's very clear, crisp, and beautiful, and you can talk to people all over the world. Now, it does not count as an official contact. So if you want to get like the Worked All States or DXCC certificates, it doesn't count because it goes over the internet. It doesn't go over the air, right? So you're not transmitting over the ionosphere to a station over in London. You're not doing that. You're talking over the internet, but it's pretty cool. And the technician class license does allow you to do that. So 10 meters, 6 meters, 70 centimeters, and plus that gives you a chance to work the International Space Station too. Yeah, a lot there. But if you can, it's not that hard. Trust me, you can get up to general. You really can. Now, once you get up to general, now you've got frequencies all throughout the ham spectrum. So yeah, great question. Man, that's a real good one, Cos. Thanks. Ward Dixon's in the house from California. Man, I'm so glad to see you. Welcome to the show, Ward. Wow. Ward Dixon, he's just down the road from me.
Enough road to get up to 88. Roads? Well, we don't need roads.
Exactly. Ward's one of those guys that has a 101. He loves his. He almost sold it, but he held on to it because he knows the value of a radio that he loves, and he made the right choice. Ward, I'm so glad to see you, and I'm proud of you too. Berg says, Larry, can be a Hibberling PT8000A be of some interest to you? No, not really, buddy. I'm selling the K3 so I could buy the K4 Mini. That's it. Stu Foster, welcome to the show. Nice to see you, my friend. Thanks. Stu says, it's great to have spent some time with you. I will definitely be back again soon. Best wishes. Oh, Stu, man, that is really sweet. Thank you very much. You made my day. Thank you, Stu. That's very kind of you. And David's here. This is Kilo India 5, Juliet Whiskey Delta. Watched all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. Nice to see you, Dave. Thanks for coming, buddy. How's the weather in New Orleans today? I bet it's beautiful. Oof, I love New Orleans. Oh, it's beautiful there. And the food, oof. If you've ever had gumbo, I mean good gumbo, or jambalaya, oh man, that's heaven right there, heaven. Gunter is here from Germany. Good to see you, Gunter. Thanks for coming to the channel, buddy. Good to see you, as always. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad you like that, Glenn. I can't hide. Look, buy it. Just buy the EQ. Use some headphones. You'll love it. You'll love it. You don't need to buy the speaker if you don't want it. But man, if you buy the EQ, you will love it like crazy. You really would. All right, here we go. Good thing from Lee Rosselli. Lee, I'm glad you said this. Lee is Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo, November, Bravo. Look what he says. He says, I recently sold my Kenwood radio speakers and used the speakers for my Samsung surround system. What a huge improvement. Yes. The stuff that you get at the ham radio store for like optional speakers, really? No. I like you guys, and I want you to spend your money right. And I'll tell you if something doesn't work right or isn't the best, okay? For example, the SP10 that comes with the 101. It's okay. It's better than the radio speaker that upfires from the 101D or MP, but it doesn't wow you. It's not like, wow, what a great speaker. I'm sure glad I got that. No, it doesn't do that. But the Heil does. And this is the only Heil product I recommend, seriously, except for their connection cable. If you're going to run ESSB or you're going to run an XLR mic to your rig, that's a great cable, great connecting cable. I really am not a big fan of their microphones. I'm not. I'm just not. I've tried them, and I'm not. I'm just not. I'm an Electro Voice guy. I like the pro stuff. So, and that doesn't mean that Howell doesn't make pro stuff, and it doesn't mean that Howell doesn't make great stuff. They do. They're just not for me. Okay. But this Howell parametric receive system, it's everything. It's the best accessory I ever bought for my ham shack. Absolutely. Dave, good to see you. Saving up for a G90 or depending upon how big the tax return is, perhaps a 7300. Both are great radios. Absolutely. In fact, Lee Rosselli thinks the best value on the market is a used ICOM 7600 for $1,200 to $1,400. Super het with some advanced features. What do I think? I think that was the dream radio I had when I was studying for my test. In fact, Lee, when I went into the HRO store after passing all three in one day, I went there asking to buy a 7600 because I thought it was such a beautiful radio. Truly, I did. And they laughed at me and said, hey, they stopped production of that a year ago. Sorry. Here's the 7610. No kidding. Yeah. The 7600, for those that might not know, is the last super heterodyne design for ICOM. It is. It's a fantastic radio. It's a beautiful radio. Same screen as the 7610. Same exact screen. Doesn't have the burn-in problem though, okay? So don't think, oh, the 7610 screens had burn-in. No, the 7600 is not that same thing. But it's a beautiful superhead. It really is. It has dual watch on it. It's a great radio. Lee, I agree with you. I really do. I'm more into that if it's about 1,200 to 1,000 though. 14 is a little steep for my blood. It really is, okay? Unless that radio is like brand new almost and barely used, I'd go maybe 14, but I'm more 1,000 to 1,200 on the 7600. I think you should save some money there and go between 1,000 and 12. You'll get a good radio, okay? You might have to pay for shipping, but you'll get a great radio there, okay? I love the 7610. Oh, the 7600 is a great radio. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel, had my General since August, but still haven't been on HF yet. It's killing me. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Used 7300s aren't that expensive. You can get them for about $800. And that's a great radio to start with, man. That's a lot of radio to start with. Also, another good one is the Yaesu 450D. Okay, you don't get the fancy band scope and all that, but you get a TXCO oscillator in it to maintain your frequency real stable, and it's got great transmit. It really does. I love the 450D. I think it's a great radio. In fact, when Yaesu stopped making it last year, Dan, I was blown away. I was like, why would you stop selling the lowest priced value radio you have that's got such great stuff inside it? Probably because it was too expensive to keep manufacturing. Yeah. Love the 450D. Don't discount that. And so instead of spending $800, you're now at $500, but you're on the air with a good radio. Gunter, IC 7600 is a great buy for $1,200 in mint shape. I'm still in that $1,000 to $1,200. Almost bought two of them at $1,000 in the last 6 months. There's my answer, Lee. Okay, just my thought. RV Dad, Wires X is fun. That's what it is around here. Yeah, a lot of guys do that. I know a lot of hams who have a radio and they have like the FTM 400 right there, and it's just monitoring. It's all it's doing is monitoring. And then when someone comes in, they'll answer. It's cool because they get a chance to talk to someone from another country. It's fun stuff. Wires X is cool. System Fusion for Yaesu is pretty darn slick. Gunter, it was this Steely Dan. All right, Traveler, 16.5 for a Hibberling PT 8000A. You can get a really nice radio, a 100-foot tower, and a good beam for that amount. Looks pretty though. Yeah. But I'm not a person that prefers looks. I'm a person that wants performance. Seriously. I mean, look, ICOM makes the 7651, right? Great radio. Or 7851, sorry. Great radio, okay? It's like, what, $17,000, $18,000? Is it that much better than, say, I don't know, a 7600 or 7610? Yeah, of course it is. It's got better numbers. But are you going to hear the same signals? Yes, you will. It's just a matter of what you want, what you love, and hang on to it. Don't go selling the doggone thing. That's the whole point, okay? Okay, Phoenix, hello there. Oh my goodness, you caught a live one. Okay, good applause for you then. Let's get a woo for Phoenix. There you go. I'm so glad you're here, man. Welcome to the show. It's nice to have you. My goodness. David, weather in California and Temecula, sunny in the 60s. I am very jealous, very jealous. Oh boy, Berg's got one club member has died. I'm sorry, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean that. Yeah, that's a lot of people right now in ham radio are becoming SKs, and that's tough. Berg continues saying his equipment will be sold soon. He thinks it'll be a bargain. You know, Berg's the best thing you can do is if that ham has a widow, come alongside her and make sure she gets every penny for that gear. Do that. Make sure you be the SK's best friend by making sure that that widow or whoever the estate is gets the right amount of money instead of a goodbye. I bet you're that kind of guy. I bet so. Andy Bronson from Great Britain, M7XTT. On the 101, is there a way to get the sound out of the external and internal speaker at the same time, please? Yes, you can. It does split, okay? There's a way with, if you buy the D, for example, okay, you can hear split. You can also hear split through your headphones, yes. If you buy the MP, you can separate it through the external speaker and the speaker on top. So that's how the MP does it. But yeah, you can get split. Good answer. Hi there, Digital Analog Ham. Look at that. That's a pretty sweet name, actually. That's pretty sweet. Digital Analog Ham. Yeah. Let's see. What we got? Yeah. It just matters on what you got. So you guys are answering questions here in the background. That's good. Yeah. There you go. So, and you know, email Ward, if you've got a 101, he has a 101. He's had it for a long time. Okay. He also has the Heil parametric. He knows real well the settings. He also knows the parametric settings well for your mic. So I think he uses a Heil. So, you know, if you've got a Heil mic, he'll help you with it. If you don't have a Heil, you're using a handheld, he'll probably help you as well with your settings. Ward Dixon, his call sign is Whiskey 6, Whiskey Delta. He is a good man to talk to on 101 parametric settings for your mic. All right, we'll wrap it in a bow, but don't leave. Remember, we've got an Easter egg coming, a special sign off. Remember, we started with Canada at the very beginning of the show. We will end with Canada with a sign off to remember the old days of television. Remember when they signed on and signed off? We're going to honor that every single show here from now on. You'll see classic TV sign-ons and sign-offs from around the world. Scott, you got a 101 as well. Talk to Ward. He's good on them. He really knows the 101s well. Find him on QRZ. You'll find, I hope I don't miss you up, Ward. I don't mean to. But find him on QRZ, all right? Just take a look on QRZ, Whiskey 6, Whiskey Delta. Hit him up on email, and he will respond back because that's the kind of guy Ward is. He is one of the best people that there is in ham radio. And I mean that sincerely. I know him well, and I'll tell you, he will not steer you wrong. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please continue to subscribe. We're the only daily live ham radio talk show that's on YouTube, and we're the original one as well. So please help us out by subscribing so other people can find the channel and get themselves on the air. Until tomorrow, from the shack of Kilo 7 Hotel November, my name's Larry. My call sign's K7HN. All the very best, and God bless you guys from Oregon.
This is the Global Television Network, concluding its program service for today. The Global Television Network is owned and operated by Global Communications Limited, with studios and offices at 81 Barber Green Road in Don Mills, Ontario. Global programming is simultaneously telecast across Southern Ontario on different channels via a network of regional CKGN TV transmitters, licensed by the Canadian Radio and Television Commission, Ottawa. In the Windsor and Sun Parlor region of Ontario, Global is on Channel 22 from our transmitter at Cottam, with power at 218,000 watts. In Sarnia and Blue Water Country on Channel 29 from our transmitter at Oil Springs, with power of 370,000 watts. And throughout Western and West Central Ontario, including the Toronto region and the Niagara Peninsula, Global is on Channel 6 from our transmitter at Paris with power of 100,000 watts. In the Central Ontario, Toronto, and Mid-Eastern regions, you see Global on Channel 22 from our transmitter at Uxbridge with power of 5 million watts. In Eastern Ontario on Channel 2 from our transmitter at Bancroft with power of 100,000 watts. And in Canada's capital city region from our Channel 6 transmitter located in Hull with power of 12,600 watts. Global is also available on cable across Southern Ontario, primarily on Cable 3. We hope you've enjoyed the many and varied programs seen here today on the Global Television Network. Join us tomorrow, and once again, it will be our pleasure to bring you our new global point of view. Until then, good night.
Knowing this world and understanding what and who and make it better, starting here.